myself because it moves too much, it bends in the middle. But we have danced on, what was the one at Miss Pole Dance UK? Was that 8 metres?
5.5, I think.
5.5 metres. And I'm scared of heights. And you actually, funny enough, the electricians needed to put some gaffer tape at the top because it went onto some scaffolding and they were too scared and Sam went up and did it for them.
Which is where I was saying it's nice to put them into shape sometimes to have that little bit of control. So.
You say this dancing goes back a long way in history.
Yeah, I mean,
which I'm surprised about.
Yeah, traditionally people do associate it just with the strip clubs, and they don't see that there's any history to it. Now, obviously, we just put a modern take onto the traditional syllabuses like Malakam, so we do add an element of dance because it makes it more fun than just doing gymnastics, and it takes away some of the boredom if you were just doing one trick after another. This is nice to be able to blend it with a little bit of dance. But yeah, the Malakam, as I say, is 12th century. Chinese pole, we don't know the original origins. But both pole sports were male-orientated sports, and they were used for men going into combat situations because it was seen as the ultimate way to keep fit, because it was aerobic, anaerobic, working strength and flexibility. So traditionally, yes, we're learning to fight theoretically, but we're very gentle people.
Do men do it? Have you got male?
Yes, we have male students as well as female. Predominantly female. There is much higher risk of injury for men. If they land on the pole incorrectly, they're going to do themselves a very nasty injury. So I hate to say it, but men aren't as brave as us. They're much less good at coping with pain.
How do you get pleasure from causing so much pain to yourself?
It's the challenge that makes it fun. I mean, it does hurt when you first try things. Your body conditions to it, and eventually the moves you do at the beginning don't hurt anymore. And then you want the next challenge, so you've got that constant sense of achievement, that you're constantly doing things that you never thought you'd be able to do. And I think that's why a lot of our women get so much out of it, because they come in thinking they'll never achieve certain goals, and if they can overcome things on the pole, they can then go away and apply it to their lives, you know, and build their confidence. So I don't like the pain.
It's like being a big child in a way as well. You know, it's a huge climbing frame, and as an adult, it's acceptable to be able to muck around and go upside down and have fun. And the spins are fun. You get a bit of a rush from spinning, so it's a bit of an adrenaline sport as well.
So you say you have other students, but how many poles have you got then?
Well, this is we don't teach with this. This is our little bit of kit for travelling and taking it out into the public sort of thing. With our studios, we have, I think we've got 6 poles in our Plymouth studio, so we would take maximum 12 people in a group. We don't take more than 2 people to a pole, because obviously they don't get the fitness benefits. The other advantage of having small groups, although it's not a great business model to work with such great small groups, but the social aspect you get of having these small groups of women coming in quite often on a regular basis. We've got some mothers and daughters. We've got a family unit with sort of a mother and daughter and the sister and the aunt, you know, and it's a really nice thing for them to come in and do, to know that they're keeping physically fit and, you know, getting the social aspect as well. But yeah, not more than 2 to a pole, and certainly don't teach on this one.
Do you have to get a pole, or what treatment do you have to give the pole to keep it in good condition?
It just needs to be as clean as possible, absolutely essential. Any amount of grease or dirt or anything is going to restrict the grip on the pole, and when you do fall off, especially from height, you know about it. I had an injury about 3.5 years ago now, doing one of the shoulder mounts, which is where you lift the body this way. I flipped back up too intensely, I fell, landed on my eye socket. So we do have the occasional black eye. It's not all pretty and lovely. There are, you know, it's a high impact sport and there are sometimes injuries. But if you keep the pole clean, and obviously when we're teaching in the studio we have crash mats as well. So if something does go wrong, it's going to minimise the injury to anyone. And also the mats provide that extra bit of confidence for people to try new things. But yes, you must have clean poles.
And does your...
Sorry. Oh. Generally, I mean, some poles it's fine to use something like a fairy liquid, you know, as long as it's a detergent base, just to remove, because mainly you want to remove the grease off it. Some people go for more of an alcohol solution, with some alcohol gels and things. our society seems to put moisturisers into everything, which is great, you know, for people who want to keep their hands nice and soft. But you put a cleaner with moisturiser on the pole, and suddenly you've just put a layer of oil across the pole. So you've got to be very careful that you clean it with something that's just going to clean it and not add anything to the pole at all.
So you don't need dance training because you were very graceful and you almost as though you were a dancer.
I
as
have
well.
dance training.
You've got dance training.
I've been dancing New York salsa, bachata, cha-cha-cha and merengue for 8 years. And I'm a trained gymnast, and I did county level gymnastics from the age of 4 to 14. But bearing in mind I'm 38 in a couple of weeks, it was a long time ago. But it does help. So I mean that's just my style. That's how I dance. And one of our instructors is a trained podium dancer, so she used to dance in just ordinary nightclubs. You know, when you have the girls who just dance in a corner to keep everybody going. So she's very podium based in her style. It just depends. It's a personal thing, really.
So you don't need other gym training?
No, I mean, we teach you.
Our instructors are all trained fitness professionals, but obviously, unfortunately, none of the fitness qualifications that are recognised really prepare you for pole dancing. It is something you need as much experience as you do qualification. But everybody applies their own little bit of experience to it. Some people who have a dance background will feel very comfortable doing the choreography and linking the moves together. Some people who perhaps aren't as well coordinated or don't like the dance aspect, we can work on the gymnastic side of it. So there's something for everyone, and we're not cloning dancers. We want everyone to express themselves differently.